Hi, everybody. Today I want to share something that's close to my heart. I want to talk about 10 hopeful truths that I've discovered about being 78. Now, I thought long and hard about this to come up with 10 of them that I thought were relevant. Last week, I did a video about the harsh realities, I guess, of being 78 and the pitfalls and, the challenges that you're going to have as you get older. Now, you might hear a lot about doom and gloom about aging. Sure, getting older has its challenges. Basically, it sucks. I mean, there's nothing you can do about aging. It happens. Uh, it sure beats being in the ground. But again, there's so much beauty and joy and freedom that comes with aging. So stick around if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, or want an honest perspective on what growing older feels like. Just listen in. Welcome back to my channel. I'm John, and I'm 78. And if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you checking me out. If you've been here before, uh, thank you again for coming back and listening to me ramble on. All right, so I prepared a list of 10 truths about being 78. The first truth is you stop sweating the small stuff. At 78, I've learned to stop worrying about things that don't truly matter anymore. The little annoyances, the petty arguments, the need to always be right. They don't have the same exact grip on me anymore. And that's a gift that only time can give you. It was that I was very argumentative, but I worried about the small stuff. I kept on top of it, and uh, you don't have to do that when you're older. You just live life day after day without sweating the small stuff. Relationships, they mean more than ever. Family, friends, and even simple moments of connection have taken on new depth. After living nearly 8 decades, you realize how precious relationships are. I find myself looking forward to conversations, hugs, and time together that didn't have, the opportunity for in my younger years. Either I didn't want it, I didn't accept it, or I didn't need it. I don't know. I've been divorced twice, so I'm not good marriage material. However, my first marriage, I was young and inexperienced and dumb and did some stupid things along the way. So we got divorced. I have two great children because of that union, and I have a grandson that I love to death. And I still talk to my ex-wife every once in a while because we still have kids together. I mean, and that's the bond that you're always going to have. One's going to be, let's see, 55, and the other one's going to be 53 shortly. So I've talked to my ex-wife and I've texted her back and forth, and we get along great. I mean, it really is. Now, my second wife, when I married her, I thought we had the same, or maybe perspective on life, the same goals, but we were two different people. We ran in two different circles, and we just never communicated the way we should have. And even though I stayed married for 20 something years in that relationship, we both weren't happy except at the beginning. So I don't have any contact with her anymore. I care about what happens to her, but I just don't have any desire to make any contact with her. But that's a personal choice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is freedom to be yourself. There's an incredible freedom that comes with age. I no longer need to impress anybody or live up to anybody else's standards or expectations. I get to be me, fully, unapologetically. I don't have to make excuses. I don't have to live up to the Joneses. I don't even have to approach the living up to the Joneses standard. It doesn't matter. The material things, yeah, I just don't have any desire. As long as I get up every day, do what I have to do, be a good father, be a good grandfather, that's all that concerns me. And naturally, living my life to the fullest and taking care of myself. Simple joys are the best joys. A good cup of coffee in the morning, a sunny morning, a bird singing outside my window. Even these pleasures are worth more to me now than any significant achievement ever was. Aging has taught me to slow down and notice them. There's a lot of truth to be, said in that old saying, slow down and smell the roses. That's true. You get a different appreciation for things that are surrounding you, for nature, for buildings, for construction, for beauty and art, and poems and songs. I've always listened to songs. I'm a rock and roll fanatic. Back in the 50s and 60s, I still listened to Sirius FM 60s in the morning. I can still remember Cousin Brucey and Wolfman Jack. And those kind of days, uh, I look back at those and say they were probably the greatest days of my life. However, there's great days ahead of me, and I'm not too old to enjoy the great days ahead of me. And that's what I plan on doing. Wisdom comes with time. Only time can bring that. You can't rush experience. The lessons I've learned through mistakes, triumphs, loss, and love have given me a perspective I wouldn't trade for anything. Being 78 means richer in wisdom than I was at 28. That's obvious. You got 50 more years experience on you. I was always a poor money manager. I provided for the kids, I provided for the household. I bought what I thought I needed for everybody. Uh, I probably spent a lot of money doing stupid stuff that I didn't have to do. Uh, and ultimately, I sold off some of that stupid stuff. And when you get older, your money management becomes a little bit more important to you. You realize the mistakes that you made. So any money that you have or you're accumulating or you're working for, you're a little bit more frugal with that money. You don't do things surreptitiously anymore. You just don't go out and spend it. My only expense that I think is extravagant is my yearly vacation. I hadn't had a vacation in 10 years, probably up to about 8 years ago. And then I said to my son one day, I said, "Hey, John, you want to go to Disney?" He said, "Yeah." So we went down to Disney, and we've been making it an annual trip since then. Taking my grandson, I've taken my other son, and we have a blast. And Disney's not cheap, but you can do it on the not frugal side, but the not so expensive side. You just have to watch how you spend your money. So that's my only extravagance that I look forward to, and I believe I earned it and I deserve it. Staying curious and passionate. It's a myth that curiosity fades with age. I feel interested in learning new things than ever, whether it's trying out new technology, reading new books, or even starting this YouTube channel. Curiosity keeps me young at heart. The greatest thing that ever happened to me is the Kindle reader. When I was in college, I had to read, but I had to read textbooks and that kind of stuff. And reading, other than the daily newspapers and the cartoons and the sports section, didn't really impress me. However, since I started with the Kindle, I probably read at least one or two books a week, and it's a great tool. I mean, I love it, and it's enhanced my vocabulary. It keeps the gray matter up here stirred, for lack of a better term. I read in the mornings when I go out for breakfast. I'll sit there and read instead of listening to everybody's conversation around me. I could care less. I turn my hearing aids off and just concentrate on my Kindle. I read whenever I get an opportunity to because it's convenient. The Kindle's there instead of having to lug around a big book or things like that. And you don't have to go shopping for books. You just go online and you look for a book that you want. I have Kindle Unlimited. I think I pay, I don't know, 10.99 a month, and I can get a wide variety of Kindle books, as many as I can read in a month for 10.99 plus tax. So that's a big, big plus for me. And getting back to my YouTube channel, I started this YouTube channel back in January of this year. As of this morning, I have 543 subscribers, and I think I'm doing pretty damn good with it. Uh, it was a learning curve. Believe me, I screwed up a lot. I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. I bought this and I didn't need it. I bought that and I definitely didn't need that. But I have a lot of equipment. And what I did was I studied YouTube. I studied some of the people that I thought would benefit me. And it's been great. I've learned a lot. And as I mentioned in my last video, I probably only know 10% about what's going on. So I have a lot to learn as far as YouTube is concerned. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And that's my goal, is to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's next. And then I'm going to work on my watch hours so I can get monetized. I can use the money. Believe me, I can. But, you just have to be patient in doing it. Uh, you have a deeper gratitude about life. At this age, gratitude isn't just a buzzword, it's a lifeline. I wake up every day and thankful for my health, my loved ones, and for simply being here. I've learned not to take a single day for granted. I think I mentioned last week in my video, when I get up in the morning, I put my feet on the floor and I said, "Ooh, I'm on the right side of the grass this morning." So that's a good sign. I I feel relatively healthy. I have some health issues. I have some mobility issues that I've worked through and I've compensated for. I had cataract surgery on one eye. I need cataract surgery on the other eye, and I'm going to have that done in November. And it's been a game changer for me. That the one eye has made it so much clearer, and I could see much better. Uh, I have carpal tunnel in one wrist, and I'm going to need to get surgery on that. And that's scheduled for September 18th. But fortunately speaking, I've been pretty healthy. I did have a heart attack about 10 years ago, and I've learned to live with it. I went on a diet, and I'm using semaglutide to help with the diet. And right now I'm down 31 pounds, and I feel much better. I'm lighter than I was when I was in high school playing football, and I feel fantastic because of it. I can't exercise the way I'd like to. I really can't walk unimpeded. I use a rollator because of my balance issues, and I have a bad back, so it's kind of strenuous to try to walk. So I walk with the rollator just to keep my balance in check, and definitely don't want to fall. Falling, I just don't want to break anything, and that's why I used a rollator. It's just a safety thing for me. Another gift of being older is slowing down. I don't rush things the way I used to. There's something beautiful about moving slower, noticing life, and savoring where you are instead of constantly chasing the next thing. I get satisfaction knowing that I can still inspire others. Just because we're older doesn't mean we stop mattering. I found that sharing my story, lessons, and struggles can encourage someone else. You never know who needs your perspective. That's why YouTube is so great. I could talk about something that somebody else can talk about, the exact same thing. And because I put it in a different perspective, possibly, you yourself resonate with what I'm saying more so than the other person, or vice versa. You may say, "John, you're full of baloney. You know what the hell you're talking about." But if you listen to the other person say the exact same thing, they may make more sense to you. It's just personal choice. The last thing I want to talk about is the best may still be ahead. Who says the best years are behind you? Some of my most meaningful moments have happened after 70. New connections, joys, and dreams. There's still more to live, more love to give, and more memories to take. So I'm going out of this world with gusto. I'm just going to take the brass ring and run with it the furthest I can go. So these are my 10 hopeful truths about being 78. Aging just isn't about slowing down. It's about also opening up to new possibilities, appreciating life more deeply, and becoming more fully yourself. I'd love to hear from you. What hopeful truths have you discovered in your life, regardless of age? Drop it in the comments section below. Your words might inspire someone else today. If you found this video helpful or uplifting, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more than you know. it's tied to the YouTube algorithm. So the more likes you get, the more favorable you get. So please give it a like if you truly like this video. If you want to continue these conversations, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And hit the little notification bell down below. I think it's down here somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is, but it's down there. And if you click that, you'll never miss a new video. Every time I put up a new video, you'll be notified that, in John's universe puts up a new video. So that's helpful. And again, I'm going to implore you to do this. Put in comments. And I've mentioned this many, many times, good, bad, or indifferent. I'll try to respond to all the comments. Comments can be read by other people, so you may inspire other people just by your comments. And I think it's helpful. We're building a community. We're building a community of like-minded people who are sick and tired of watching endless, mindless things on regular broadcast TV. And we're getting on YouTube, either as, looking at videos or maybe even creating videos. And hopefully I can give you enough information to get started. My niche to pick one is to help older people start up their YouTube channels. And I diverted from that a little bit. I've talked about being older and talked about the good and the bad of being older. But basically, what I want to talk about is helping older people start YouTube. I mentioned in a previous video that I'm going to teach a class at the Senior Center about YouTube. And it's scheduled right now for the end of this year, fourth quarter, October, November, and December. However, I may have to talk to the program director because of my impending surgeries. I just may not be able to do it. So I may just postpone it to the beginning of the year where I can give it true justice. All right, so that's all I have to say for today. Thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.